Good morning. I'm Muffin, and I'm half-ass ready. So, we've talked about water. We've talked a lot about why I do what I do. But we're going to talk about food today. Pretty important thing. Food prepping 101. So, I didn't know if I wanted to go into talking about what I do to stockpile food. So, I thought, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, my water video was a hit and appreciate it. We're gonna talk more about water too, but I kind of started thinking about what you need if the power goes out, right, to prepare food. So I brought a couple of things that I have, but we're gonna talk about things, and these are things that you might want to check out. For yourself, things that work better for you. Try out gear before the shit hits the fan, because that gear is going to be the gear you got when it's over, okay? So I'll say my first outdoor video. I'm hoping picture and sound quality are good, so we'll find out when I go to editing. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video though. So first thing you're going to need is pots and pans, okay? No matter what kind of food you decide to prepare after the event, whatever it is, you're going to need water. Okay, we talked about water. That's why I told y'all water is important. We're going to need water to prepare food. And something like this coffee pot, or 2 or 3 or 5 of them, is going to come in very handy, because you're going to need to boil water to prepare a lot of your food, right? And so if you're personally canning or personally preserving food, you're still going to need pots and pans to prepare that food, okay? So you're going to need probably the same stuff you have in your kitchen now. You're probably going to need some measuring devices. Some of this stuff requires some measurements, a cup measure. And you need to have those things. Now, I keep a lot of my prepping, my SHFT stuff separate from the stuff I use every day in my kitchen, because I want this stuff to be heavy duty, long lasting, able to take some punishment. So I kind of keep it in a box by itself, in with my prepper gear, in with my prepper food. So maybe something you want to think about, but regardless, if all you have is what you have in your pantry, in your kitchen, then that's what you got, okay? So let's figure out how to use it without electricity, okay? So ideally, you're going to be in your safe place when the shit hits the fan, okay? So if you are, now I keep, and everybody should have something like this. This is a Coleman camp stove, okay? You unfold it, has the adapter so you can hook up these cans of propane, right? Now, they make adapters, and I have them also. They make adapters that you can hook it up to a 20-pound propane cylinder. And we're going to talk about 20-pound propane cylinders too. You're going to need those. Look, propane for me is my choice of fuel, so I'm stockpiling it, right? Because it's my choice of fuel, right? Yours may not be yours. You may have natural gas. You may have a great big propane tank. You might have, you might be on wood, and wood's not, it is an option for me, but it wasn't my favorite option. And we'll talk about that in another video too. But propane's my choice. So I have a few of these stockpiled. This screws into the stove. You'll figure out how to operate a camp stove, okay? But this is the Mac Daddy camp stove, right? It has 3 burners. It's bigger than most camp stoves. So this is my choice, because I can put 2 full-size pots or pans on this stove. Good choice. It's also the most expensive one they make, but I do a lot of camping. I told y'all in one of my comments the other day that I was a scoutmaster for quite a few years, so I like these stoves. Now, if wood's your choice, you're going to need a couple of these. You're going to need Dutch ovens, cast iron Dutch ovens, okay? two kinds. One that has legs, right? So you can cook on coals. One that doesn't have legs, you can still cook on coals with this. Don't anybody tell you you can't. But this one's a lot easier to cook on the stovetop with. So you need a couple of these cast iron Dutch ovens. They can be pricey, but quality is what you want. Okay. So those are at your safe place. Okay, those are at home. If you're on the road, you know, some of y'all may have go bags. I have a get home bag. I want to get back to my safe place. Okay, wherever I'm at, I want to get back to my safe place because that's where my stuff is, right? But if you got a bug out, right? If you got a bug out bag, you're still going to need to be able to prepare food. You're going to need to take food with you. We're going to talk some about food too today, but again, I showed y'all my kit. This is my bug out kit. This is my get home kit, whatever you want to call it. This little stove. This type of fuel. Turn the stove on, you spread out the little thingies. I'm sure there's a technical term for that. I just call them thingies. Put your cup on top, start the gas, light the fire. You need matches. Matches and lighter or something you should have in your get home bag, get out of town bag, whatever bag you want to call it, okay? So put water in here, boils water in about 3 minutes. This goes everywhere I go. Oh, I dropped my cup. It's okay. But that goes everywhere I go. I don't leave home without it, okay? It's like my American Express card. Drop that too. So we're gonna leave that on the ground too. But don't hurt those to go on the ground. Look, those are designed for camping, hiking, whatever. But those are important because you're going to have to heat water, okay? So, I've been purchasing these, and this is a 4-week. This is actually 2 buckets this size to make this, okay? This is a 4-week food supply from My Patriot Supply, Ready Hour, excuse me. What reviews I've seen, this stuff tastes better than anything else. But at the end of the day, you're going to like what you like. You're going to buy what you buy. But freeze-dried food, guess what? You still need water, okay? So you got to go back to the water thing, okay? So you got to have water. I like these. They come in this bucket that you can store easily. They stack nice. They also have a label on the front that tells you what everything that's in there. So, but this is the 4-week supply. Again, now we talked about this. It's a 4-week supply for one person. Okay, so if you got 4 people, that's 1 week's food, right? In these 2 buckets, there'll be 2 buckets. And on the front is what's in each bucket. The sticker has a picture, and on the packaging inside, it has instructions of how to cook it. It's not very complicated. You pretty much boil water. Okay, so but you still have to boil water, so you're going to need a way to heat that water now. Without electricity, okay? We're going to assume there's no electricity. If you got electricity, game on. Look, if the power's out everywhere and you got a generator and you can still run your stove inside, then rock on, man. You got life by the cojones. You're good to go. But any of the things that I'm going to show you here, these are all, you know, over the years I have quite a few of these, but you know, we used to use them a lot hiking with my scout troop, right? So these are ReadyWise. These are delicious. Okay. Now, when I first started buying these, you could only get them at specialty stores. You know, hiking stores. You know, REI. Blah blah blah. Now you can actually buy these in your local grocery store. Now I find these in my grocery store, and these are delicious. But there's only enough food in here for 2 people according to the label. That's 1 meal for me, especially when I'm hiking. If I was trying to get home and I'm 20 miles from home, that's probably a 2-day hike. And you're going to be burning some calories. This bag is really a good, and it sticks to you too. So I like the ReadyWise stuff. Mountain House, delicious. This is particularly one is a breakfast one that is so good. I love these. It's a granola thing, but it's nice to have a little something sweet, start your day, get going. But these are delicious. Again, you need boiled water. And then Wise, the Chili Mac's my favorite, but I have the Wise stuff. This you can also purchase in the grocery store. You order it online at all, hiking outlets, Sportsman's Warehouse, any place you go to get that stuff. Those are good. They keep for a long time, 10 to 12 years, especially if you keep them out of the sun. But now, here's an option you don't have to cook, okay? The old Spam Classic, right? A single slice of Spam inside this package, sealed, good for about 3 years, okay? I keep one of these in the glove box of my vehicle. I got something to eat on the way home, and I don't have to cook it. I can eat this on the run. Say you're being chased by marauding zombies, and this is what you need a little get up and go. So here you go. That and a cup of this, man. Folgers Instant Coffee Singles. Everybody's going to have instant coffee. Look, My Patriot Supply, everybody sells a really decent instant coffee. This is the best instant coffee I've ever drank. You use it just like a tea bag. It takes you, as soon as you get your water boiling, it takes about, depending on how strong you like your coffee, 30 seconds to 1 minute, and you have a boiling hot cup of pretty good Joe. So I keep these in with my my little travel kit. Keep a couple of these, couple of things of tea, a couple of things of the little sugar packets, a couple of little creamer packets. Have some instant coffee, the Starbucks one that's about this long and thin. Just so I have some coffee, because I don't function well without coffee. And any of y'all that know me know I need alcohol and coffee to survive. So, we're gonna, and that's in my prepper stuff. Okay, coffee, and I may have a whole damn episode about coffee. We may use a French press. Everything you need to make coffee without a damn electric percolator. Look, it takes longer than a minute and a half like it does with my bun, but I gotta have coffee, and I'll bet you I'm not alone, okay? There's something else, and these are readily available at any grocery store. The Tuna Creations, there's several flavors. They even have things that you can make your own tuna salad. You may not have bread, but if you got some crackers, whatever, you can eat this right out of the bag while you're running, and lots of protein. Tuna's great for you. Boom, go. So grab a few of these, man. They keep for a few years too. So anyway, I didn't want to get too carried away with what I keep in my pantry. Look, everybody's seen these, right? Meals Ready to Eat, MRE. This is the chili and macaroni flavor. Buy these by the case. There's generally there's A menu and B menu, and there's 12 different varieties in each. So there's 24 different varieties of Meals Ready to Eat. MRE. You do not need a supply. You do not need a stove or a fire or anything to make these. Okay. These have a heater inside. Okay. But you do need water to activate the heater, right? So you're going to need water. Also, these are pretty dry, all the stuff that's in them. Not going to open this one. I'm kind of planning an MRE, and I want my son to help me with that. He's just a pro with these things. So I wanted to do an MRE one on how to break it down. This isn't just one meal. This is a day's worth of food if you break it down properly. But there's a heater inside that requires water to activate. And if you have MREs, okay, if you've already said, look, I'm a prepper, I'm going to buy 5 cases of MREs. Look, these do not last as long as those buckets of freeze-dried food, okay? But they last a long time. But you need to open one and use it. Or go look at some videos on how to use it, because you can mess up the only chow you have really quickly with this. So, but MREs are great. They don't taste awful. You get real tired of eating them. Any of you guys that's been in the service, you get real tired of eating them if you have to eat them for a while. So, but look, you ain't starving. And again, this one bag will keep you alive all day. Okay, this is a whole day's worth of calories. This is Warrior Ready. You want to find one that says Warfighter recommended on it, because it's higher in calories, and you can use it for a whole day. Okay. Jumping Jiminy, man. I mean, I could demonstrate all this stuff, and maybe we will later on, and I'm sure I will when we're talking about food preservation or food preparation, I want to the actual preparing of the food. I want to do a video on that too. But again, man, I appreciate y'all's comments. The water video went over great. I'm hoping the food one does too. But if you have questions, put it in the comment box on whether, you know, what food I like or what food you should get. You know, I'll give you some pointers. I mean, again, do the research. You think about it. Again, that's why I started this video series to start with. Wasn't about telling you what to do. There's so many people out there telling you what to do. I just want to get you thinking about what you need to do, okay? I want you asking yourself these questions that you would ask me. So, you know, what do I like? What does my family like? You know, and look at the ingredients. If you got someone in your family who don't like onions or don't like potatoes or whatever, read the ingredients on these freeze-dried meals. You know, see what's in them. It's all available when you order them. So, you know, make sure you're getting something. You don't want someone to be gagging every time they eat just because they have to eat it to survive, right? Again, we talked about creature comforts, right? And having food, good food, is a creature comfort. So, and again, man, even your already canned food, you know, if you can beans or tomatoes or tomato sauce or vegetable soup, you got to have something to heat them up with, right? I guess you can eat them cold. I mean, you know, I'm sure canned soup is already cooked enough in the cooking process or won't hurt you any, but it's so much better to have good hot soup on a good cold rainy day when, you know, so you want to be able to heat that up. And you have to be thinking about what you have and what you don't have, or what you're going to have or what you're not going to have when it's time to prepare that meal. Think about portion size. You know, how many members are in your tribe, right? And everybody gets a meal, right? So if you only have enough to prepare for 4 people and you've got an 8-person tribe, well, everybody gets a half a portion, right? So, you know, think about that. And when you get half a portion, you get half as much work done. You know, we talk about how hard it's going to be without the things that make our civilization go, right? Electricity being number 1, any kind of fuel being number 2. But things are going to be hard, and so the things you have to do manually are going to consume calories like crazy, okay? Next video, I'm probably going to talk about manually powered tools, right? Tools that are powered by these, right? So we're going to talk about that. You know, I'm going to kind of show you what I have and what you need, and then we're going to talk about how to take care of those things. You know, anything you got and anything you don't have, you need to get. So, but we're going to talk about that. Again, it's a beautiful day outside. I think I'm going to get to it. I've got some work I need to do today, but man, I appreciate everybody that's watching these things. And I got an airplane coming over, so wasn't expecting that. But you know, again, I don't think I'm the smartest guy, you know, but it's. Man, I appreciate some of the comments. I really appreciate y'all viewing. My water video really blew my mind. In my mind, I wasn't thinking that was going to be the one that everybody liked as good. So, but it was. So, and it's great. And we're going to do more because water's so important. Food is so important. We're going to talk more about food. But we're going to talk about situational awareness and a lot of things that as a prepper you need to be prepared for. So. Again, I want to get into security too, but you know, again, we're going to talk about all that later. But man, I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Again, tell the ones you love them. And this is Muffin. Let's get full ass ready and signing off.